Good. Okay, now we're recording. Okay, so welcome, welcome. It is our Tuesday night training. Today is Tuesday, November 24th. And I've been instructed I can't talk too fast, but I can talk fast when I'm not giving you real content. So today we're going to talk about the success plan. Thanks for announcing that, Scott. And if everybody could mute themselves, would be amazing. That would be really great for the recording. Okay, so we're going to talk about the success plan. We're going to talk about how it is that we grow in rank using math, using strategy, and just looking at what's going on in our back office and making a 90-day plan. Okay, so everybody wish me luck. This is going to be very high tech, and let's see what happens.
Screen share.
So Terry's going to talk me through this.
Share screen.
Wait. Share screen. Watch this. Share screen. I'm going to double click on this. That should show up.
Okay, can you guys see that?
Nod your heads.
Okay.
Good.
Now open it up. There you go. There you go.
Okay, and hopefully you can still see that.
Yeah, they can.
And if you can't, text Terry. Okay, so.
Or speak up because you can hear them.
This is a form that was sent to you all earlier today. So you have it in a link that Terry sent by email. Notice I'm speaking slower now. So what we're going to be looking for is how it is we can look at the numbers in our back office to get to another rank by making a plan. So the first thing we're going to look at, and this is not just for the people on the call, this is for the people on the call to teach people who are on their team. Okay, so let's say we want to get from director to director 700. Okay, most of you on the call are already at that level, and if you're not, you're going to learn how to do it right now. Right, so this is about hitting it every week, and this is just about making a plan. And Terry, feel free to yell in anytime and keep me on track.
Getting to a rank and sustaining that rank every single week.
Okay, and sustaining that rank every single week, that's what we're going to do. So our goal is when we hit Director 700 every week, we would like to be making $500 per month as a Director 700. Look, it's actually letting me write things. Okay, so that's what our goal is. Okay, so we're going to skip goals for 3 months right now because we're going to get really specific over here. When you're looking for what it is that you want to do as a Director 700, moving up from a director, look at our tour of the ranks and you look at our roadmap, which you all have from our training 2 trainings ago. And those are the things that are in here that tell you when it is you're supposed to help with presentations, when it is you're supposed to start doing your own calls with your teams, which is much farther on, so that you'll get another document. So we're going to focus right down here on how to get to Director 700 if you're a director. So we're going to call this week 1. And we're going to say on the left side, if you're looking in your back office and looking at your volume, you have 100 points on your left. And on your right side, you have 100 points. Okay, now, this is the complicated part that we're going to try to make simple and we're going to go slow. To hit Director 700 every week, that means you need 700 points on your lesser side every single week. So when we want to hit Director 700, we don't want to hit it just once. We want to hit it every week, which means we're going to have week 1, 700 left, 700 right, or more. Week 2, 700 left, 700 right, or more, and so on. So the goal is we want to have 700, 700, 700, 700. So when you're looking at your projected auto ship totals, when you're looking at your projected auto ship totals, you want to see that it's 700s in every one of those boxes in the future weeks. Okay, so what we have here is, let's say in week 2, on your back office.
So do you want the dashboard?
I don't, but thanks very much, darling. Okay, and you all know that when you look on your dashboard, these numbers will be right on your dashboard with what your volume is for the week. and what your volume is and your projected auto ship totals over on the right side. Okay, let's put a space there. Okay, and we're going to move this down. So for week 3, so we're just setting this up to teach you exactly how we're going to do this. Just keep bringing in that dashboard. No thanks, darling. We're all good. Foster's in the house. I'm so glad everybody's muted. Okay, and I promise this is all going to make sense to some of you. And look, this is a bad week. We're saying 0. Okay, so now we're looking at how do we get in 3 months, which is actually 13 weeks, how do we get to Director 700? Now, if some of you out there are not muted, please mute yourself because we can hear some background noise. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's look at, we want this week 1 in 12 weeks from now to be at 700 and 700. Okay, that means we need 600 more points on each one of these sides for that week. So, but we have, this is a 4-week period, and we're doing a 3-month period. So we have 2 more periods after this to get to 700 on the left and 700 on the right. Okay, so if we know that on the left side, we want to get within 3 months to 700 points, that means we need 600 more points. So that's 6 more people on auto ship. This is a generalization, but each person on auto ship is about 100 points, so we need 6 of those 3 months from now during this week on the left side. So if we have 3 months to do that, in 1 month, we only need to do 1/3 of that. So if we need 6 more people on that left side of week 1 in 3 months, in a month, we only need 1/3 of that. So we only need 2 enrollments this month, actually during this week, so that by next month, we'll have 200 more points from the auto ships from these enrollments. Okay? Now we're going to go over and look at the right side, and we have the same number of points. We're going to need 600 more points, so our goal is going to be 2 enrollments. Now, that sounds a little unnerving to have 2 enrollments, except those aren't necessarily your enrollments. They're anybody on your team. So on your left side, it's anybody on your left side who's enrolling. So if you have 2 associates on the left and each one of them does 1, you don't need to enroll anybody. You have 2 on your left who enrolled. Same thing on the right. You just need 2. If you do 1 enrollment, you need 1 person on your right to enroll somebody in that first week so that you're staying on track to get to Director 700 within 3 months. So I would ask if there are any questions, but then that would mean I would have to go into a different screen, and Terry's not down here, so we're just going to move on. Nothing, darling, we're all good. Okay, so, right, so once I finish this page, I'm going to come back and try to figure out if there are questions. Terry will come and help me. Okay, so for the next week, we have 0 points, because this is a person who's just a director. So they're going to need, in 3 months, 700 points. So that's going to be more than 2 enrollments, because if we got 2 and 2 and 2 over the next 3 months, that's only 6. That's only 600 points. So we're going to guess that we need 3, because it's never hurts to overestimate. And on the right side, we have 100, and we want 600 more after 3 months. So we're going to need 200 each month, so we need 2 enrollments on the right side. Okay, in week 3, same thing. We already have 100 points on the left. We're going to need 600 more within 3 months, so we're going to aim for 2 enrollments. And on the right side, also 0 points, so we're going to aim for the 3. And if we get 300 points this week, Then in a month, we're only going to need to get 200 and 200 to get us to that 700. Okay. Wait, I got a text. Come back on if you can, we're recording. Perfect. Okay. Now in week 4, we have 0 points. This person's a director. So we're going to aim for 3 and 3. So notice that it says here, these are our goals. We haven't gotten any actuals yet. Okay, so to get to Director 700, if week 1, so let's say that's this week, we get 2 enrollments on our left and 2 enrollments on our right on auto ship, we are on track for our 90-day plan. So then next week, we need 3 enrollments to get us on track because we want 700 points. So if we do 3 and then 2 and then 2 over the 3-month period, that'll get us to 700 points. Okay, so I'm hoping this page makes sense. Now, let's see if I can make, oh, that's bad. I don't know why that D got there. Now we put the 3 there. Okay, so, wait a minute, nobody move. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? If you do, I'm sure there's a way that you can do it. You can unmute yourself and ask me a question if you have a question thus far. Wow. Look how cool it was. Okay, so we're still going for Director 7.
Okay. Right, can I just ask, I would like to ask one question. So this is assuming that people are signing up as being an associate. So it's not talking about anything about being a customer,
That
right?
is
Because
correct.
customers,
So
okay.
I can frame that in the beginning. I was going to frame it at the end, but that's exactly right. There are a lot of variables. So everybody who enrolls, you also get 30 points per case. So if you get these enrollments and if somebody enrolls with 4 cases and you're getting 120 points, that will bring you closer, but we're talking about auto ships because that's where the stability is. Okay? Preferred customers are going to give you 50 points. There's a lot of variables here. Some of these people are going to get 2 cases per month. Some are going to get the total health 150, so they'll have 150. But we're going to keep looking at that as the weeks go on and see where we are that week, and then we're going to change our picture over the next month. Okay? So there are a lot of variables. Now also, great question, your retention rate is probably not going to be 100%. So let's say you lose half of them. You're going to need to replace everybody that you lose that's not on auto ship. Okay, so none of this can be perfect because humans other than our team are typically not perfect. So there's a lot of variables, but this is just to get you to understand the strategy of planning how to get to another rank by looking at your back office, planning on the enrollments. There will be more bonus things happening. There will be more customers. Other people will get customers, but then you're going to lose some retention. So there's lots of variables, but it's just how to make a plan and sort of your own little goal statement by looking at your back office. Okay, so now let's say we're going to go to week 5. And in week 5, we have 300. And on the right side, we have 200. And in week 7, see, this is sort of like a marriage of high tech and low tech. That can't be week 5 and then week 7. That can't be right. So we're going to make that 6. And then we're going to make this 200. And then we're going to make this, it's a good week, 400. And then this is going to be now week 7, which I was very excited to get to. And that's going to be 300. And this is going to be 300. And week 8 is going to be 200 and 300. Okay. Now, when we get here, now we've gotten to 300 points on the left, and we have 2 months left. So we need 400 more points. And look, we're on track. So if we need 400 more points and we still have 2 more weeks, we have week 5 and we have week 9, to get us to that 700 point mark, then we need 200 this week and 200 in week 9. So we're on track, so our goal is still 2. On the right side, we didn't hit our goal. So we're now going to need 500 points over the next 2 months, but we only get 2 shots at this week. So that we're going to have to increase now to 3. Okay, does that make sense? Please nod your head. Nice. Lynn, I can tell she's nodding. I can see her hat. Okay, week 6, we have 200 points. So again, we're going to need 3 enrollments this week. And on the right side, we got 400 now. We only need 300 more points over the next 8 weeks. So we only need 2 enrollments here. Week 7, we have 300. We need 400 more over 2 months. So that would be 2 and 2. On the right side, we have 300. Same thing. We only need 2 and 2. And on the left side in week 8, we have only 200. So that's going to have to stay at 3. And on the right side, we have 300. So that can drop to 2 because we need 400 points to be added to the 300. And that over 2 months is 200 and 200. So that's 2 enrollments. Please nod your head if this all makes sense. Nice. Okay, now we're going to go to the last set of weeks. So we're going to do week 9. Let's do this a faster way. This may not be faster. I'm sure Scott could teach me a much faster way to do this. No, I'm good for right now, honey. You keep getting us ready for the health professional vision call that we'll be doing in a little bit. When you're all triple diamonds, you're going to be doing 2 webinars a night, just letting you know. Exactly. Okay, so in week 9, because this is now growing, on the left-hand side, we have 500 points. And on the right-hand side, we have 500 points because we're getting all those auto ships from all those enrollments. And in week 10, we have 500 points. And on the right-hand side, we had a good week. We're up to 600 points. And in week 11, it was a good week. We got, that should be 600. And on the right-hand side, another good week. We should have 600. And in week 12, we're going a little slow in week 12. Everybody on this call has a week. I got weeks. I should coin that phrase. Maybe I just did. Okay, so we're trying to get to 700 every single week. So now we're in week 9. We don't have much time left. So we got 500 points here, and in a month we need 200 more. That means 2 more enrollments during this 7-day period. On the right side, same thing. We have 500 points already. We need 2 more enrollments. And that will get us to the magic 700 and 700, which will get us to Director 700 for the first time. Okay, in the next week, we have 500 here. We don't need the 3. We can drop it down to 2 because we were successful last week. And here we already have 600. So we only need 1 enrollment to get us to the 700. So we hit Director 700 again this week. Okay, week 11, starting to make sense. We got 600 and 600. So we need just 1 more here, and we need just 1 more here. And then because we have only 1 more week, we still have 400 here. We got to get 3 more. So we're going to keep the 3 right there. And on the right side, because we only have 1 more week, we need 2 more. Okay, so if we can hit all these numbers in a perfect world, and this is a perfect team, if we can get our 2 enrollments here, then 4 weeks from now when the auto ship hits, this will be 700, assuming there's no loss of retention. But then there's also going to be extras. So you'll have extra enrollments, you'll have extra customers, other stuff will be going on. People will be doing the Total Health 150. Right side, you get 2, and now you got Director 700. Okay, so does everybody understand so that when we now get to week 13, every week is going to start having 700 at least on your week side, and then we're going to start heading for bronze. Okay, did getting from Director to Director 700 make sense? If it didn't, please unmute and ask a question. I love the silence.
Help, I'm asking a question.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Does this mean that every single one of these weeks we have to get 2 people or 3 people or 3 people and 2 people? Or
Okay.
it's like, is week 1 the same as week 5 and 9?
Yes.
So we don't have to get additional people. That's
you may have to get additional people if people don't stay on the product.
okay.
Okay. But the goal is we don't want to be a one and done and just hit a rank and then not hit it again. The goal is this is how you hit it every single week if you can make this plan. Okay? Any other questions? Perfect. Who wants to see how to go from bronze to silver? Everybody does. And if I could find those notes, we'd be all set.
How about Director 700 to bronze?
Oh, you're right. I'm going to bronze. We're going, wait a minute, hold on. Let's just a minute. I'm sure my wife stole those notes of mine. Oh, there it is. Okay, who wants to see how to get to bronze? Okay, so let's say you're Director 700. Now you want to get to bronze. Okay, anybody know what the average earnings of a bronze are? Exactly. $1,800 per month if you're hitting bronze every week. That's the average earnings for a bronze. That's pretty cool. That's like $20,000 a year. Okay, everybody want to know how to do this? Yes. Okay, so now we're going to go back to week 1. And I haven't lost anybody, right? Okay, and I'm not talking too fast or too slow. And if I am, sorry, but you're going to deal with it, I know. So now we're hitting Director 700 every week because we're Director 700. So we're going to put here 700, and we're going to put here 700. Now everybody knows to have a bronze, you have to have 2 Director 300s, and those are down different lines. They can be on the left or the right. They can be both on the same side. It doesn't matter, but you must have 2 Director 300s. So that's a given. But as you're building and your team builds just like you do like this, that's going to be easy. Okay, so, and we're going to say that this is 800 points. And we're going to say this is 1,000 points because it's a great week. And this will be week 3. And this is going to be 700 because we're a Director 700. And on the right side, it's going to be 800. And on week 4, we're going to have 800 and 800. Okay, so look, so we are a consistent, amazing Director 700. And now we're going for bronze. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, who's asking the question?
This is Betty Ann. I'm here with Elizabeth.
Yes.
On her computer. So we missed the first 5 minutes. Are you laying out on each time you go through the pages? This is one sheet at a time, and then we're going to take like however many months we want this goal, and a new sheet for each month?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and this is all being recorded, so you can watch this in perpetuity.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay. And my wife has just yelled to me from upstairs, we're going to re-record it and put it in the back office. Or something. She said something like that.
Okay, great.
Okay, good. All right, so let's see if I can make this. Okay, so everybody can see this. So now the goals are going to be bigger because we're trying to get to bronze in 3 months. So the theory will now be we need 2,000 points on our lesser side each week if you want to make $1,800 a month. Okay, so we have 700 here because we're a Director 700. So over the next 3 months, we're going to need an extra 1,300 points per side. Okay, so we have 3 months to do that. So we're going to divide 13 by 3, and that's more than 4, but less than 5. So what we're going to do is we don't want to underestimate ever, so we're going to say we need 5. Now that sounds like a lot, but now you got more people who are helping. So it's not just your enrollments, it's the enrollments of your team as well. And on the right side, again, you need 1,300 points divided by 3 months is more than 4 but less than 5, so we're going to go for 5. Okay, then we have 800 here on the left side of week 2, and we need 1,200 points that week divided by 3. So that's going to be 4 enrollments for this week to stay on track to be bronze in 3 months. And on the right side, we need 1,000 more points. So 1,000 divided by 3 months by 3 is going to be 333. That's more than 3 but less than 4. So we're going for the 4. On the left side of week 3, we have 700. Same thing, we need 1,300 points. So we're not going to shoot low for 4. We're going to shoot for 5. So that we can hit that magic 2,000 points within 3 months. And on the right side, we have 800, 2,000 minus 800 is 1,200 divided by 3 is 4. That's what we're going to aim for with our team. And in week 4, we have 800, same as above. We need 1,200 points divided by 3, so that's going to be 4 enrollments. And same thing here on the right side, 4. Does anybody have any questions before we move on to the next month? Cool. Okay. And
That's right. I get the math. I just have a question for you. Say, for example, you're pretty much qualified in 3 out of the 4 weeks, but you have a new prospect comes in, but you don't want to wait 3 weeks to put them in. What do you do? Is there a way to finagle it so you can get them where you want them?
Who's asking this question?
Christina.
Christina. The answer is we can finagle a little bit. So let's say somebody says, on a Friday, I want to enroll. Okay, but you've already hit your numbers for the week. So
you push them to Monday.
You can push them to Saturday. Okay, so you can just push it. You can just do it after 12:01, and they're going on the next week. Okay, let's say you missed your numbers by 1, and somebody tells you on Saturday, I want to enroll, but you missed last week by 1. You can contact us, send us an email right away, and say, I'd like to backdate my enrollment from Saturday or Sunday or Monday. You must let us know so that Monday, your amazing triple diamond upline Terry Malmed can make the magical move and move it back to Friday. So yes, there is finagling that can be done. Just be a little careful. If somebody says on a Friday, I want to enroll, and you've already hit your numbers, we don't want buyer's remorse. We don't want their spouse saying that salt water, don't do it. So I would be a little reticent. I would be a little nervous to hold off and say, let's not do this till tomorrow, unless you know them really well. Okay?
Well, unless you get a paper application, then they don't know when you put it in.
That is a totally different way. That's exactly right. Okay. That's if you want to hold it off. Exactly. But if you want to backdate it, you have to let Terry know as early as you possibly know, and it has to be done by Monday in the afternoon. And we can backdate them to Friday. Okay? And you can also do that with rank advancements. And just if you have those questions, text Terry, email Terry, and she makes the magic happen. Okay, so now we're going to move on. Everybody else understand? Any other questions? Beautiful. Now we're going to do week 5. Okay, so week 5, we're going to have 1,200 points. Isn't this exciting to know that you're all going to be at this spot? It's not if, it's when. It's not who does it fastest. It's who does it the longest. And this is week 6, and this is going to be 1,300. And I know this is going to seem a little redundant once you start getting it, but they just sent something to the medical board today, and it was some statistics about how many times people need to hear things before they actually retain it, and it's usually 7. So I figure if I do this 24 times, we should catch even the people that come on late. Right, Yates family? Just kidding. They should have been up here. Okay, but you don't have to know that. Okay, so left is 1,000, and on the right side is 1,000, and on the left side of week 8, we had 1,100, and on the right side, we had 1,200. Okay, again, the goal is now we have 2 months left, and we want to get from 1,200 to 2,000 points for bronze. So Now we just need 4 enrollments. Because if we get 4 this week, 4 next week, then the next month, we're going to have 2,000. Okay, same thing here. We have 1,200. We need 800 left over 2 months. So it's 8 divided by 2, and we don't need 5 anymore. We need 4. 1,300, that's 700. 700 is close to 800, but I don't want to drop it down to 3 because that would drop us down. We wouldn't have enough points. So we're going to leave it right at 4. And the 1,500, we can now drop down to a 3 because we only need 500 points. And if we do 3 and 3, that'll be 600. And that'll get us to 2,100. Okay, on week 7, now we're up to 1,000 points. We only need 1,000 divided by 2. Yeah, we're going to need 5. Okay, and the same thing here. We're going to need 5 if we're going to stay on track. And same thing down here. Because we have 1,100 points, we need 900. We're going to go for 5 this week and then 4 the next week if we hit these 5. And this one, because it's 1,200, we need 800 to get to 2,000 over 2 months. So we're going to leave the 4 right there. Okay, so we're now 2 months into our plan to get to bronze, and we're heading on track nicely. Okay, does anybody have any questions about this page? Perfect. We're heading to the last page. Okay, so in week 9, which, by the way, most of you know is 4 weeks after week 5. My wife tells me I have 5 more minutes. That's it. Okay, 1,600. 1,600. Look how amazing we're doing. Week 10. And now we have 1,700. Isn't this business great? Look at this residual income happening. You're going to be making 1,800 a month. And 1,400. Okay, and then in the 8th week, we have 16. No, what happened here? Week 11. And we have 16. And we have 15. Okay. So now we're getting close to that magical 2,000 to hit bronze every single week and open up your executive momentum pool. Okay, so in week 9, we're at 1,600 and 1,600. We only need 400 more points over the next week on each side, 4 enrollments. So we're going to leave them right at the 4s. We're right on track. Right here in week 10, we got 1,700, 1,700, and we only have 1 week left. So we only need 3 to get to the magical 2,000. Here, we have only 1,400 and 1,400. We've got to get very busy here. We're going to need 6. So this is where you start calling, your aunt and your uncle and say, listen, I really need enrollment. I got to get bronze. I got to make 1,800 a month. And same thing here, 1,600. We need 4. And 1,500, we need 5. Okay, so if we hit all of these numbers over the next 4 weeks, depending on the variables that we talked about already with new enrollments, with customers, with retention, you will be at 2,000 points every week. Once you hit the bronze twice in a row, you're going to open up the executive momentum pool. And this $1,800 a month, that was before the executive momentum pool, and that money's really good. Okay, so that's how we look at our back office and plan for a 90-day, a 3-month plan. Are there any questions before Terry drags me upstairs to get ready for the health professional and vision call, which of course you will all be on and bringing your prospects to? No questions. That's so cool. Okay. My wife says I should stop. Wait, first I have to stop sharing. Okay. And you can still see me. I'm sorry to hear it. Okay. I'm going to hit stop recording. Okay, so this is just a taste to get you going on this, and we're going to do a more formal one, preferably with different talent that's more tech savvy than this. Okay, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I'm stopping the recording right now.